Hello, hello. Happy end of the week Fridays to everyone out there in teching land. This is the Foolish Tech Show, and today everybody decided to take this Friday off for some reason, so I don't know. We got Tank and Johnny in here, but it doesn't matter because I'm the one hosting the show today, so I'll be able to take it over for the whole show anyway. We don't need those others like Proctor and Nick and Michael. Um, so today I was going to go over some of the fun Hak.5 stuff that I've gotten over the past few weeks and what I've learned with them so far. And yeah, I think it's going to be pretty fun. The Wi-Fi Pineapple, the Lan Turtle, the USB Rubber Ducky, stuff in the Field Kit. There's all kinds of things that those guys do. They also got their own series that they've been running for 19 seasons now. Pretty good stuff in there for anyone that likes tech content, or even if you don't know a lot about tech content, going back and watching them all gives you a lot of good background on it. I have only been knowing about them for the past few months, thanks to our friend Net Hunter, that is sometimes in the chat and watches our show and likes foolish IT stuff and has been a long supporter. So he introduced me to them, and not even a couple months ago, and I've already gone up to season 5 of their episodes. Tons and tons of good content, even now, even with it being super, super old stuff. Like, this is back when Vista was just coming out on the market. So I got a lot of stuff to catch up on with them, but a lot of their tools they offer are really sweet and cool. So we're going to end up going over some of those. I know last week I said I might have something on the Raspberry Pis that I have set up, but really right now all I have is a web server running on one, and my other one is just a play around one and see what I can do with it, and I'll probably have some more on that later. But I do have one of my tools hooked into the Raspberry Pi, but let's go over that stuff in a little bit. I did have a few things that I wanted to note on before we get into the Hak.5 stuff here. And first thing I want to note on is when you set up your, oh man, that's not good. Let me see if I can pick the right screen here. I think it's going to be this one. Let's try it. Yay! Y'all see a map on the screen, right?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, just want to make sure, because I unhooked my computer displays, and for some reason Firefox thinks they're different displays when it displays the thumbnail of the picture. I don't know. It's kind of weird. So this is something I wanted to point out here. So when you start up your Raspberry Pi, I don't know if it's on the installation of the noob kit or once you get into the Raspberry OS version, but at some point it gives you an option to add your Pi to the Pi map. Now this is pretty neat. I mean, you can see where the Pis are all over the world. So each one of these is a Pi, and where it has big numbers, there's large numbers of Pis. Pretty neat, pretty cool little idea. You can see there's ones in little islands out in the middle of nowhere. There's even ones up in the North Pole regions. There are even Pis down in Antarctica. I'm assuming they're probably like doing monitoring stuff and things like that, but they got a couple of them down there, 3 of them over here, so that's probably a base station or something like that. Pretty neat, pretty neat. I don't recommend you do it though, or if you do it, don't do it from your house. Before we zoom into that, I do want to point out here, it is kind of cool that you can kind of see like the first world areas just off this map. Like obviously the ones where high concentration of Raspberry Pis are your first world areas, highly populated and money wise. So you got Australia, Europe, and the U.S. And you can even see the desolate Midwest in America. That's kind of funny. But yeah, then you can see the other areas. It starts to get a little bit more scarce and remote, all the way down to where you may have the only Pi. So on Eastern Island, they got only Pi. Dr. Snuggles is over here on one of these South Pacific islands. Probably a really pretty place to have a Pi, but that brings up the first point I want to make. Don't make your username, or even worse, your entire full real name, your Raspberry Pi name, and then add it to the map. Because now we have this Pi here, and we know it's Max Daniel 98. I'm going to go ahead and assume that's probably a person's name, Max and or Daniel, and he was probably born in 1998. So lots of privacy concerns with this. Now, this isn't the biggest privacy concern there. I mean, if you're going to name your device your full name, that's kind of just asking for privacy issues. But let's scroll in a little bit on the US here. We're going to scroll into a little unknown town that somebody that isn't here would really hate for us to do. But he doesn't have any pies on this map, so this is Greenville. This is Greenville, North Carolina. And first off, you can see like there's just a few pies around here, and that's interesting, right? But then if we scroll in some more here, it looks like when they register pies, they actually do it down to your pinpoint location. So the Hollywood Presbyterian Church, they have a Pi, and it's called Staralore 03. So, I mean, that's ridiculous. That is a huge security risk. Now we know a Pi is sitting right here. That to me is just terrible. And then adding to that they put the name of the Pi there, that's even worse. So now I know there's a Staralore 03 at this church, and they have a Pi there.
And so does everyone else, because you just pointed it out.
Yeah, but it's here. It's public information. I'm making people aware. They could have found that out on their own. Just like they could have found out off Mills Road here, there's a person that has 5 Pis. Mike the Buck has 5 Pis right here, all added to the map. I mean, that's almost a pinpoint location there. So huge security risk. Don't do that. Same thing with this one in the middle of town. This one even goes down to a house level too. Yeah, so there's 3 Pis at this house, and that's for the Soul Desolation Reaper clan. They are also the Site 1 landscape supply. So lots and lots of dangerous privacy concerns doing that. I don't understand why they have done it like that. That is almost ridiculous. I kind of want to report them because, I mean, it would make sense. Like, I know they want to track it by location and show you where they are, but just having them in Greenville for these surrounding Pis, or whatever city like reports back for wherever you are, that would be fine. But taking it down to the street level, that's pretty crazy. I actually found one close to me. Person used their entire full name. It was like Nathaniel Max Daniels or something like that. Used their entire full name as their Pi, and now I know that person's entire name and where exactly they live, plus that they have a Raspberry Pi for some reason. So kind of scary on that side. But it is kind of fun to see like different places where pies are. And one in particular that me and Michael were looking at this and flabbergasted at the pie privacy issues there. But we did find this one here that we thought was fairly interesting. So we decided to look a little bit more into it. So you can't read this one on here. We'll look at the Google Maps here in a second, but it's Herd Island and McDonald's. Herd Island and McDonald's Island. So two islands, they are actually connected basically. I'm guessing that one's probably Herd Island, this one's McDonald Island. I don't know which one. But what I thought was funny is this pie is named Ronald. So my first assumption is that McDonald's purchased this island for themselves and they have their own island because it is McDonald Island and they happen to have Ronald as their pie there. But yeah, this it's an interesting place here. And what was more interesting is you're able to kind of see where that pie is located, right? Can't get like too good of an image because obviously Google Maps doesn't image very well here. But we can switch over to satellite and see a better picture. So it's about right there on this peak. So I was interested in this. This is an interesting island. So we looked it up on Google Maps Real so that we can see a little bit more about it. And what do you know? We got some pictures of this place. So here's the first picture. This is from McDonald Island here, or Herd Island. I don't know which. It's both places. So definitely not a highly populated area, definitely not very well developed. And Ralph took that picture back in 2012, so maybe they've made some changes. But then I was like, man, I'd really like to go to Street View on this thing, see what's out there, right? There's only one street place I can go to, that little blue dot there, if you can see that. Let's see if we can scroll in slowly. So there's only that one little spot that we can go to on Street View. Now remember where we saw that pie at? That one little spot right there, right? Well, if we click on Street View here and check this guy out, the only thing we have there is actually a photosphere that was uploaded to Google of this one place. We got some people there. Kind of, it's like a freaking compound. I'd like you to note I mean, I don't, how tall are those? That's probably what, 12 feet, 15 feet?
Well, it looks like it goes to the top of a two-story building, so 15 to 20 feet, I guess.
Yeah, 15, 20 feet concrete slabs in their little compound here. They got the metal fence here. They got their home people chilling out there. Looks like they're doing some redecorating. Obviously, this place has a Raspberry Pi, plus someone has a phone that's capable of doing photosphere. And you can't really see it there, but there's another fence here. So remember that first image we saw there? And now we have the second photosphere image. What are these people so afraid of? Why do you need these fences and a second compound fence and everything? Like, what are they protecting?
Maybe it's not to keep people out. Maybe it's to keep people in.
The door's open.
Well, there's another fence though.
Yeah, I guess it could be. But I was thinking like maybe that was a trash fence or something.
Maybe they got a pet crocodile.
I'm thinking maybe there's like dangerous animals on this island and they have to keep them away from the trash as well as themselves or something maybe. I don't know. This island just intrigues me more. I really wish I could find out more about it and check more into the area and look at it and stuff, which I thought with, oh wait, with Google Earth, maybe we can look at it a little bit more here. How do we... No, I didn't want to find my location. Let me go back to Herd Island here. There we go. How do we go and pan on this? The real Google application was way better at this. There we go. There we go. So you can't even see much with Google Earth though, other than they got a really big mountain, so it looks like it's a volcano area maybe. They got a pretty sweet lagoon. Another island over there. I don't know, just a whole lot of security concerns here, I think. But also gave us this interesting place here that now I want to go and visit and find out what these people are so afraid of, that they had to have such huge fences, and yet they have a Raspberry Pi and photosphere capable phone. So I just wanted to throw out some of that stuff. I gave away our privacy while doing it.
Maybe they're pirates.
I'll have to edit that out now. Look out for Mr. Imbo Seeley and Leo Wanker in Australia. Oh, is that Undertaker? Is that your Raspberry Pis? Could we go and find your precise location with that? I'm not going to do that on the show. I'd have to edit it out more later. So, something else for... This is coming from one of our IRC chat people, which if you're watching on YouTube or Google+, join us at foolishtechshow.com or foolishit.com/live, and you can join in the IRC chat there. But this other link is coming from FilthX. He watched our show yesterday about Cody TV and the Raspberry Pi having an open elect and OSMC, and he said to check out this repo for the Beast. It's like a full version of Cody TV and has some wizards and stuff. I didn't get a chance to play around with it yet, but it looked pretty cool because like it does like emulators and stuff. We'll kind of skip forward in this video. We can't play it because we'll get in trouble for it, but it's got like an arcade place built into it and emulators and all that stuff set up in that repository or overlay or whatever this is. So I thought that was pretty cool, building on what we talked about yesterday. And actually, let me open those places back up so that I can post those links here. And Undertaker said that was his precise location, but no longer. So we're gonna post those links in here so everybody can check these cool places out and check for your own Raspberry Pi and see if it put your location right at your house there. But otherwise, this is the Beast option. It does seem pretty cool. I am going to have to look more into it. I might end up setting it up on my Pi. Being able to have a emulator would be awesome, like a portable game system to go with this neat little mobile pack that I got for the Raspberry Pis, which we'll show off here. I'll have to go non-screen share for this part. So I got a cool little mobile setup for my Raspberry Pi, and it's got a keyboard, 2 built-in USB ports. This will actually power the Pi as well as using a power adapter, which I can use that 2600 or 26,000 milliamp battery to power this DC port for the screen, and then this will power the Pi and the keyboard and the USB ports. But what's really sweet about this little 7-inch screen here is this is 1024 by 600 or 768, and it is a HDMI screen. So this can actually be used for anything HDMI wise. So if I have something that has an HDMI connection, I can plug it into that screen, and I got an HDMI screen. But speaking of the emulator stuff, this would be a very nice little emulator pack. It's got a little stand on the back, so I can sit there, plug in a USB controller, and play all the emulators using the Raspberry Pi anywhere, everywhere. Pretty cool. This one came with a case that has a mouse and a case for the Pi and all kinds of cool stuff. It's a Tempest Pi 360 kit, so if you're interested in that, check that out. I might be able to find the YouTube things and throw it in there. Oh, and Undertaker says my screen's not on the main view. Not sure why that is. Hopefully it is now. Hopefully that was small when my Google Earth decided to go to my location, because I don't know what buttons mean. Is my screen on the main one now? Johnny, can you check that on YouTube and see? Is she coming in here? I'm back now. Okay. So anyway, let's see if we can go to the other screen here. And we'll try this one and this one. So this is something else FilthX recommended for the Raspberry Pi. 10 great Raspberry Pi books full of project ideas. So it's got a list of 10 books here that you can check out and find crazy projects to do with the Raspberry Pi and some other things. So it's also got some Arduino stuff if you want to join that project. You can check out all kinds of things with that. So lots and lots of great stuff you can do with the Pi. Swoop.
Sorry, I was doing laundry.
All right.
Back now.
So we got this going, and we did the Kodi thing. I posted those links. So let's get into the Hak.5 stuff now. Hopefully my screen is back here.
And you are?
The main view. He said it was during the Google Earth stuff. I wasn't on the main screen or something like that. It's alright. Yeah, who cares? So as long as I am the main screen now, that's cool. So we'll go over the Hak.5 stuff. Dang, I got money falling all out of the place here. Where's this money falling out of, and why? Put all this money in there. It should be staying in there. I'll have to check more into that. So the first thing I got is this Hak.5 shoulder strap pack. And it was pretty nice because what I was doing before then with the Field Kit and the laptop I have was back when I got the EPC. The EPC came with this nice little felt bag, and I had been using this to store everything in, and it was like completely jammed to the brim, packed, filled, and it's only got the one pocket, and is definitely well used and worn because I got the EPC 1000H when it first came out and used it a whole bunch of ton and took it everywhere with me. So definitely well worn. Needed to have something else to take everything around with me in, and this works very well. I got it filled up with some stuff now, but it's got tons of pockets, a nice little side pocket. It's got the Moly straps and stuff on it, a water pouch pocket, top pocket where I keep the battery and stuff. Let's see if we can lower my camera here some. There we go. So it's got a top pocket here, and I actually keep a battery pack in here. We'll see why in a minute. Then it's got a nice little front pack. Came with these cool patches that I can use on my other bag as well. I normally don't have this one on here. I'm probably only going to leave this one. But came with those cool patches, and it has a back pocket in the back here that I can put a Nexus 7 in, and the RTFM, the Red Team Field Manual. Shout out to Door to Door from Podnuts. He gave me that thing, and it's got a lot of cool commands and things that I'll be able to use for some of this stuff I'll have. It's got a nice little pocket on the top here for which I have change and other knickknacks. This is the spot where you would end up putting the Wi-Fi Pineapple that will be showing off here, and it's got enough air and stuff for it and space. They recommend putting the battery in this side bag, but I got other junk in that side bag, so I'm probably going to just put the battery in this big pocket, if not the same pocket that I have the Raspberry Pi in, or that I have the Wi-Fi Pineapple in. It's got another pocket in here, and then another organizer pocket, so lots and lots and lots of pockets. It's also got a water-resistant coating and rating on it, so all of these electronics and things in here, if I get caught in a rain shower, I'll be okay. And then it's got this part, which is the main compartment, and it's got another organizer pocket in there, plus it's able to fit my 10-inch Lenovo tablet combo thing here, so I'm able to fit that in there. And this is what I use when I'm out and about to play around with the Pineapple and these other tools that we'll be checking out here. And this is the biggest thing, the Hak.5 Field Kit. Basically, this comes with most all of their tools and stuff that you can get on the Hak.5 Shop, and I'll go ahead and post some links into them. So first we got the main Hak.5 page. And this whole show is probably going to come off as really fanboy because they are pretty awesome, and I like them a lot, and I like the tools they have. So, and also I'm definitely by no means an expert on any of them. I am still very much a script kiddie, if even that, but learning more and more about them the more I use them. So I posted a link to the Hak.5 main page, the place where you can watch all their TV shows. They got a few different series. And then I posted a link to their shop here. And then I'll post a link for where you can get this bag. And where you can get this field kit. Note that the Wi-Fi Pineapple has been sold out since they were at DEF CON back in August, I think. So they're either working on a new version of it, or they're doing a lot of work on it, or they're just on back order from whoever they're getting it custom manufactured for, which we'll go over a little bit more once we get into this field kit thing here. So this field kit is pretty awesome. It's same size as this 10-inch tablet almost, so you can kind of get a size of it. And you get all of these little cool tools in it. Like I said, you're not going to be able to get this Wi-Fi Pineapple right now because they're sold out with them. This port pilot is actually a separate thing that you would have to order on its own. But these cables also didn't come. That's something I got at Spice World. They were giving them out, but it's nice. It gives you a USB connector and then your two different Apple connectors and a micro USB power type thing. So kind of a nice all-in-one connector thing there. But you can see it gives you a whole lot of stuff. I got this because I wanted to play around with it and support them, and because NetHunter gave me this Wi-Fi Pineapple to play around with because he thought I would like it and he had an extra one. But he did not give me any power cords for it. So instead of just getting the single power cord, I figured since he got me this, and I do want to support him because I do like the stuff that they make and I do like their shows, plus I wanted some of these other nifty little gadgets and gizmos, I went ahead and got this kit so that they can have a little bit more support, but that also gave me this battery pack and the cable to get it. So let's go over some of the devices in here that we're not going to get into a lot of detail on. Basically, they gave me a couple USB, or they gave me a USB extension, a USB on the go with like a flexible cord in it. I threw in a regular USB to micro USB so that I can use it to charge phones or connect to phones, things like that. They also gave me this USB micro to female, I think, USB adapter. I'm not sure what I can use that for, honestly, but I'm sure there's something, and I believe it's something along the lines of like plugging these up and having them hooked together or something like that. But anyway, something I have used quite a bit since getting this is this nice little retractable Ethernet cord. That is pretty sweet, especially if you need to connect to your Wi-Fi Pineapple, or if I need to connect to my Raspberry Pi. It'll be nice having that as a handy accessory. They gave me a different plug. I swapped it out with this Samsung one that's a 2.1 amp. I think the one they gave me was like a 1.5 amp, so I just like having the most power available when I can. Other thing that was really neat and I've used a lot here is a tiny micro SD reader. So you just slide your micro SD card in there and pop it in via USB, and it reads it on your computer. So I've actually used that a lot since I got this these Raspberry Pis, and they run their OSs off micro SD. It's really nice to be able to just pop that in, play with them, pop it out, put it back in the Pi, keep going. Next up, they gave us this straight on the go adapter. So if you're just using a USB drive or thumb drive, probably a thumb drive more, you can plug that into your Android phone and plug your USB thumb drive into this side and be able to use extra storage on your phone. That's pretty sweet. It also works for some of these other devices that we'll go over here. They also gave me this USB voltage and current tester. I have not had very good success with this. I think this is like the weak version of this port pilot here. And the issue I had with it is some of the devices will not try to charge at full power, so I can't really measure the amperage that they're pulling because they think this is a computer. So like when I plug my phone in, it thinks it's hooked up to a computer and only tries to trickle charge, doesn't try to full power charge, even when I plug it straight into this adapter here. So not sure what that thing's about. I kept it in here just so I could test it out some more and try some other things. They give you a nice USB to Ethernet adapter. I've used that a lot to hook into this Wi-Fi Pineapple to make some configuration changes and stuff. Then something else I'm not going to get into much here is going to be this RLT STR software radio transmitter or receiver or something like that. Anyway, what this does is it software defined radio, I think is the term here, but what this does is it allows you to scan for radio waves, And that also has a way to scan for airplanes, commercial airplanes in the sky, so that you can end up mapping them out. They have a whole video on that whole thing. Hold on, wait. I'm reading what Undertaker is saying there. I'll get a little bit more into. Undertaker asked, the Wi-Fi Pineapple, is it a Y-Spy or Y-Spy like on steroids? I got where you missed the word like there. We'll get a little bit more into it, and I'll actually show you the interface and some of the things it can do. So hang on, we're getting there. Go over some of these basic stuff that you get in this kit first. This thing is really cool though, because you can listen to FM radio on your computer using it. Along the same lines though too, you can map out where airplanes are in the sky above you with it. And like I said, there's some other stuff that you need to be able to do that with this thing, but this thing will do that. So thought that was pretty cool. They also gave me a wireless adapter, and it uses this plug or this antenna here. So that one's wireless in, so it can connect up to 150 megabits per second, and use that as a third antenna on this Wi-Fi Pineapple. And we'll go over a little bit more about why you would want that in a minute here. You also get the Lan Turtle, which we'll go into more in depth after the Wi-Fi Pineapple, and the USB Rubber Ducky. We'll go ahead and go over this little guy because I'm not going to be able to really show it off here. But essentially what this is a USB keyboard. What? What may you ask? Why? So this is actually a programmable USB keyboard in a fake USB looking drive thing here. So they used a different term than fake, but I need a paper clip, which I also have in this bag, so let me grab that. But basically what this thing does is it is a programmable USB keyboard. So when I plug this into a device, it thinks it's hooked up to a keyboard. Now, that is pretty cool because if I take it all out of the case here, you can see it's a USB port and a micro SD card is in there. This thing has a micro SD card, USB port, and a chip on it. There's a picture of the chip and stuff on the back. And what that allows me to do is it allows me to basically set up commands to type out on a keyboard, and then instead of me having to type out those commands on a keyboard, this will type out those commands at 1,000 words per minute. You can see some of the purposes in that. Say if you're going around to every computer in your entire business and you're doing Windows key R and then CMD and then typing out a command line, this can automate all of that process. Basically, you don't have to do anything. You walk up to the computer, plug this in, the computer reads it. If it hasn't seen it before, it detects it, installs the driver as a USB keyboard, and then this takes over and does the start R CMD, types in the command, hits enter, and can just continue doing that. You can also find that may be useful with PowerShell and some other items. You can do quite a bit with the keyboard, and having a programmable one that does everything super fast for you. Lots and lots of great ideas for it. There's a few payloads out there that you can put on there that are pre-configured for it. I'm going to put in the link for this USB Rubber Ducky. If you buy one by itself, it's about 42 bucks. but pretty sweet. And Undertaker said that the software-defined radio here is a SDR, and it is like any ham radio, and he said it is great stuff. So I definitely think you're right, and I am looking forward to having it. I just think that's going to be the last thing on my list to play around with. I was never much into the ham radio stuff, and nor did I like FM radio or AM radio. Um, but I thought it would be really cool to have, especially when we go back out west, to look for number stations, because I am kind of interested in those. Those are interesting objects. So back on the rubber ducky here, they do have some different payloads here, and I'll pull up their page for it. Let's see if I can find their page for it. There we go. So I'll share my screen here again so we can go over some of the stuff and see the stuff that it does here. It's that one, because it doesn't know what screen I'm actually looking at. So we're going to copy this wiki post into the chat here. But first thing we're going to go do is look at the Ducky scripts. And what's really nice about this is programming it in. Basically, you just do like simple, easy commands, like the enter key is the enter press. So you can add delays. So if you have to wait for something to come in, just type in things. Like you can see, this goes and launches Notepad and types in "Hello World." It can do some GUI things, Shift, Alt, arrow keys, and some of these extended commands. But then also you have things like the Duck Toolkit here. And what this does is, let's just jump over to the encoder here. So you can type out your script and generate it, and it'll give you a inject.bin file. You just put that inject.bin file on that SD card, and the rubber ducky does the rest from there. They also have a payload generator, so it will type out all these commands for you. So you can see some of the reconnaissance stuff you can do. Get the computer information, user information, USB information, shared drives, programs, updates that are installed, the documents that the user has, the basic network information. You can do a whole network scan, port scan, copy wireless profiles, take screen captures, copy their Firefox profiles, and extract the SAM. You can do all of this just by checking off what you want to do, and then hitting continue, and it will generate the script, and then you put it on your USB Rubber Ducky. When you plug it into a computer, it's going to do those things. You also have some exploitation stuff. You can find and upload files, disable the firewall, add users, share the whole C drive, enable remote desktop, create a reverse shell, delete a specific Windows update, DNS poisoning, all kinds of great things this thing can do just basically with the click of a button here. And then you can even do some reporting to save the report to the computer itself, FTP it to external host, email it with Gmail, or save it to a also installed USB drive. And like if we just take it and say continue here, you get a couple more things to add. And we'll just say a minute. And we'll just say C:\users. And pick your keyboard layout. It's very important, because if it is your computer set up to have keyboard layouts, it's going to use your default one. and the ducky needs to know which one that is, so it will be pressing the correct keys or sending the correct keys it thinks it's pressing. Hit generate script, you get your bin file, throw it on your rubber ducky, and you can go. You can even check over everything that it does there, so you can see it pushes the down arrow keys a lot, checks some different things. It does quite a whole bunch of stuff, but you can go through and check everything. This one uses PowerShell a lot, I think. So very, very, very cool tool and very handy. The Twin Duck is a different one. You can copy the entire home directory to the USB drive. All kinds of stuff. I really, myself, haven't even played out with it. I've just done a little bit of research into it and checked out their forums, which they got a very, very huge and helpful community, and they got IRC of their own. So very, very awesome tool there. I'm excited to be able to play around with it. I so wish I had it back in XP days when I was installing Windows XP like almost every day. I could literally have gone through and made a script that waited the exact amount of times when I would have had to hit enter to go through the next step of the install, or tab and then down and then hit enter so that it would install everything, or type in a generic computer name and username and password and hit enter. So many things I could have done with it back in those times. Still, you can do it to this day with installs. The Windows 10 install, there's not much to do until you get to the end of it now, so Microsoft's done a lot better on that side of things. You don't really need it, but installing XP, I could have so used it. Would have been so nice to have that. So yeah, that's the rubber ducky there. We'll get a little bit more into the Lan Turtle here, but let's go over the prize piece, because this is by far my favorite thing still. So we're going to talk about this probably the most. And this is the Wi-Fi Pineapple. We're going to talk about some of the things it can do and some of the ways you can protect yourself and why you need to worry about this. Like I said, the Wi-Fi Pineapples have been sold out since DEF CON. They took a lot with them to DEF CON, and they've been selling these for quite some time. This is actually the 5th hardware revision of this. And what that means is a lot of people have these. And once we set it up and show it off here and show you how ridiculously easy it is to become a man in the middle, you're not going to want to use Wi-Fi anymore without a VPN. First off, if you use a VPN from whatever you connect before you connect to Wi-Fi, then you're going to be okay. But especially if you're connecting to open Wi-Fi's, or you have your devices set up to connect to Wi-Fi's automatically, either because you've saved them in a list or something like that, this is going to take advantage of that. This is going to take advantage of the inherent trust that your devices have with wireless access points. And again, what's scary about this is how many people probably have one of these and how easy it is for them to steal information from you. So we've talked a lot about having VPNs and how important it is to use VPNs to protect your privacy and your security and your being anonymous.
Anonymity.
There you go. But this makes it so that you fully understand why you need to do that. Having your phone set up so that it connects to a VPN automatically, and then if it gets on a Wi-Fi, it has to be on the VPN before it'll send out any internet data or traffic. Must. Having a VPN on your computer, and if you're using it, connecting through that VPN so that your traffic is encrypted, leaving your computer to the wireless access point out to the internet. Another thing you can use is Tor, and we'll probably go over Tor a little bit more and how you can set it up and use it. But Tor also encrypts your data from your computer to the first Tor node and up till the exit node. So that's another way you can do it as well, but definitely it would be better to have a VPN and then use Tor on top of that, so you have 2 layers of encryption. But anyway, let's power this baby up. So first off, you see how small this is. I mean, this is smaller than my hand. I can easily fit this in a backpack. I can fit this in my cargo pants pocket along with this battery. So that is scary. That means anyone can be walking around with this. You won't even know it. It's not a very conspicuous device either, so I mean, that just looks like a wireless access point. I've taken this with me to restaurants and just set it right out on the table. Nobody second guesses or questions me. I just put my phone right beside it. They think I'm using it for the internet for my phone or something. So this is the pineapple juice pack. I am a little disappointed in this battery quality. It's definitely not an Anchor battery, but it does seem fairly durable. It does charge well. It does hold a charge. It's 15,000 milliamps, so it's decent enough battery, but it has a USB to DC jack that you can use. They had a DC jack that you could just plug in, but NetHunter did not give me any power cables with this, like I said, so I've just been going USB all the way, and really that's where I'm going to be using it anyway, is powering. Plus, I've talked about how many USB battery packs I have, so I have more than enough juice to power it. But basically, you plug it in, it starts coming on, lights start blinking, it starts doing stuff. It does have some nice little dip switches here, so I could actually change how it acts when it first starts up just by flipping those dip switches and having it pre-configured to do certain things certain ways depending on what environment I'm in when I start this up. It's got a USB port that you can plug in things like that wireless adapter or a USB storage device or whatever. It's also got an Ethernet port so you can wire directly into it, and it's got an SD card that you can use to load the firmware or install programs to, various things like that. I think the SD card actually runs the OS itself. So it's got wall mounts on the store. They got all kinds of things that you can do to easily hide this. There's a like incognito wall box that basically looks like something you shouldn't touch, and it plugs up to a power port or a power outlet, and basically just Wi-Fi pineapples the entire time there. So I keep saying Wi-Fi pineapples and it's doing stuff, but let's actually jump in to see what it is doing and what it's capable of doing. So what I did there was I just plugged it into the Ethernet port so that we can check it out on my computer, and we'll be able to see everything it can do from there. So I'm going to share my screen again here. And we'll get off this page, and we'll try logging into the Pineapple. I believe I should be able to access it from here. It may be because it's on a different WAN port that I'm not going to be able to do that. So that is the case. I'd have to be connected directly to it to be able to do it, or change my IP setting. So instead of doing that, I can connect to the wireless administration port, which I do have set up. Hopefully, Windows 10 was giving me a few issues about doing that earlier, so let's see if we can get it going this way. If not, I have a different route to take on it. Looks like it let me connect there, so let's see. And while we do that, I'll post the store link for the Wi-Fi Pineapple Like I said, they're sold out right now, but if you go to this page, you can add your email so you'll know exactly when they have them enabled. But perfect. I am actually connected wirelessly to this Wi-Fi Pineapple using the admin access point. And we're going to sign in here. Hopefully you couldn't hear my keystrokes too well, so you can't compute those, and I'll probably be changing them anyway. So going wirelessly is not always the best idea. If you may have noticed, it's using just HTTP, so it's not using encrypted communication over the wire here. So if someone was sniffing packets, they theoretically could sniff these and get that password that I just typed in there. There is a guide to set up HTTPS for the administration console, but I tried going through it. I didn't really try very hard, so I'll probably have to go back and do that some point before I go out and play with it again. But this is the interface for the Wi-Fi Pineapple. And it loads a little bit slow because I'm going over wireless. If I was connected directly to it, it does load everything up a lot faster. But you can see it's a very, very simple interface here. I can turn things on and off here. You can see all of these tools that I have installed for it. We'll just wait for that. So I have some of the main tools set up here. We'll go over some of the fun things that you can do with it. There's a bunch of other tools that we may briefly mention here, but in the case of time, we'll just kind of gloss over most of these things. Most of these tools you can Google the name or search the name and find out more about it. So if you have any questions about what these can possibly do, you can find out more about it on these. All right, so when I have it booting up right now, I actually have it automatically DNS spoofing, automatically saving a log file. We can see the connected client right now is myself. We can see some of the DNS traffic that's being DNS spoofed right here from this one. And basically what I have my DNS spoofing set up for is anything that I go to is going to go to the Wi-Fi Pineapple directly. So then I can set up a PHP file, index.php file, type it in right here, and I can set it up so that anything you type in, it's going to redirect you to this page. Where that becomes scary is, so you've connected to the Wi-Fi Pineapple, and now anywhere you go, I'm able to control where it goes. So when you request to go to Google, you go to the Pineapple. When you request to go to Facebook, you go to the Pineapple. When you try to do anything that your phone doesn't already have a DNS cache for, it's going to go to the Pineapple. And right now I actually have it set up to do something else, but you can do a lot of phishing things with this. So if you set up a Xfinity page and tell them they have to log in with their Xfinity login, and then you'll get internet access. You can do a pretty convincing one of those, and they have links for that out there. But then you have Xfinity usernames and passwords. You can also set it up so that people will have to pay you to use the internet, and then you have credit card information. So all kinds of very bad ways. Definitely not recommending anyone do any of that. I'm more just showing off the problems with it and the possible issues you can have. And what this tool does is it allows you to really see the problems that are out there, the things that you could run into. And a lot of times with all of the security stuff and being able to say this could happen, a lot of people don't believe you. So if you're trying to convince your boss, or you're trying to convince your company, or you're trying to convince the users at a place that this is possible and this is a problem, the best way to do it is to show them. And that's what mainly penetration testing is for, is to not do things illegally, but to show people what can be done illegally and why they should be aware of it and why they should stay safe from it. So right now I'm going to leave this DNS spoof going to the Pineapple. It's not actually using this index.php, but everything that anyone types in is going to the Pineapple. You can set up some scheduled tasks, do some advanced CSS. This is the boot modes that I was talking about, so you can use those 3 dip switches in various combinations to be able to start off command lines and have things boot up exactly how you want. So neato stuff there. First, let's show off the Pineapple bar here, and then we'll get into more about what the Pineapple itself can do. So the Pineapple bar is all the tools that you can use with this. Don't think it has an active internet connection. We may have to check that here. Yeah, so it doesn't have an active internet connection. Let's go through and change that. And to do that, we go into the network here. I know I have network set up. Where is it? Right here. So with the network, we can set it up to be wired and client mode, and no, wired setting right now is in classic mode, so that's where we'd be able to connect to it via wired. I'm going to move it over to client mode, so now my wired connection has internet access. Let's see if it disconnected me from the wireless. It did not. So while we're in here, we'll show off the access point capabilities. This is what I'm currently connected to with, is the wireless admin section, which I may actually not be connected to at the moment. I may have just killed my Wi-Fi adapter. Looks like that may be the case, so let me restart that here. Windows 10 definitely does not like my wireless adapter, so this is a Windows 10 problem, not a Wi-Fi Pineapple problem. Alright, let me see if I can get back connected here. There we go. Let's see if we can reconnect here. Just gonna refresh. Alright, so again, what we've done here is we've hooked the wired connection in. So if you had this by a router, you can connect it into a wired connection and be able to give it internet this route. If it's going to let me. I hate not being connected wired. It is much faster and much better to use wired. Oh, I know what's happening. My DHCP is fighting itself here, so let me adjust my wireless connection settings. I'm basically just setting my wireless internet properties to a static address here. So you can see that. So I'm just set the gateway as the Wi-Fi Pineapple and setting a static address on the same subnet so that we can connect to this page again. Basically, when I set the wired connection to DHCP, and internet access, my router took over the DHCP assignments and started assigning everything DHCP. So when I connected wirelessly to the Pineapple, it got a DHCP address from my router instead of the Wi-Fi Pineapple. So that's why I'm not able to connect here, but I should be able to connect now. Yeah, there we go. So that was what happened there, is basically my router's DHCP fault in one. But let's go a little bit more into this client mode stuff. We'll check out the access point stuff. So it has a hidden wireless that doesn't need to be shown, but you could use this to connect to the Pineapple for administrative access. But no, that's the open access one. This is what it uses for everybody else to be able to connect. But this one's hidden by default, and we want to leave it that way. This is the administrative one, so that's the one I'm connected to right now. Then the client mode, you can set up one of the two antennas. So right now, WLAN 0 is the Atheros chipset. WLAN 1 is the Realtek chipset. So it has two wireless cards built into that little box that you saw earlier. And one of them does broadcasting and karma and things like that. This one we can set up to do de-auth attacks, so it kicks everybody off their wireless and forces them to possibly rejoin the Pineapple instead. And then that's why you have that third wireless adapter, is so that you can have it set up to connect and get internet access through there. So if you're at a coffee shop, for example, and they have free wireless, you can use the third adapter to connect to the coffee shop's wireless. You can then use the first adapter for what it's used for, which we'll go over a little bit more here. You can use the second adapter, the WLAN 1, to do de-auth attacks, so that basically it's sending out signals saying, hey, you're disconnected from the wireless, you need to reconnect. Your wireless devices will say, oh, I need to reconnect. It'll search for a wireless connection point and will connect automatically, again, hopefully connecting to the Wi-Fi Pineapple itself. You can also do it through tethering and do it through internet connection sharing, but just wanted to point some of those things out there. So, alright, so right now my Pineapple has internet access, and we can show off some of the additions that you can get here. Possibly? No, not yet. Sorry, I haven't set this up going through a wired client mode option. I may have to set this up on the local network. Let's read a little bit more here. Alright, so I definitely didn't understand what that did. So I don't want to set my client stuff there, so we're not going to set up internet access right now. So we'll exit out of that. Alright, so basically if you did have internet access, you can install some more tools from the community there. You can even create your own infusions based off Linux commands there. And you can see some of the ones that we have installed. Like I said, it's most these stuff down here, so we'll go over those a little bit more briefly here. But let's go over what this is actually doing here. I'm going to set this back to classic mode so that we're not having any problems here. Start the networking again. I can leave my wireless settings like it is. And I'm actually going to hook up the wireless adapter while we wait on that to reset. So I'll take that out. Like I said, there's a lot of stuff this can do, and I am by no means an expert on it. I've only been playing around with it a few times so far, honestly. But there's always going to be more and more to learn, and it's very customizable, so I'll always be able to learn more about it in the future. What I really like the most about this is it gave me the hardware to be able to play with these things again. I used to be really into penetration testing and checking things, but the hardest part about them was the fact that you had to have the right hardware for it, and finding the right hardware for it was sometimes difficult. Most of your common USB wireless adapters that come in your laptops and things aren't compatible with monitor mode or injection or any of those things, so you don't get that ability in them. Having this hardware basically gives you the tools so that you can use all of the software again. And since I was into it earlier and not now, I have a lot of catching up to do, but it is pretty awesome here. We're going to go ahead and see if we can connect to the wireless using the WLAN 2. That's that USB wireless adapter I put in there. I'm not sure if it hides my password, so that's why I'm going to type it on a different page here. We'll connect here. It does hide my password, so I'll show it again. So basically what I'm doing now is I'm taking that third wireless adapter, the USB one that came in the field kit, hooking it up to my local wireless network, and this should get it internet access. So now it has internet access again. And let's check out the pineapple bar just to test that theory out here. There we go. So now I got internet access. So now anyone that connects to the Wi-Fi Pineapple will actually be able to get out to the internet, so they won't even know that the Wi-Fi Pineapple is in between them and the internet. They'll just think they're connected to the internet and go about their merry way. You can see some of the tools that are in here. Scary things like SSL strip, UFL snarf, which checks for what you're sending over URLs, site survey, SSL strip basically takes any pages you try to request in HTTPS and strips that away. You got a WPS brute forcer, EtherCap, DNS spoof we've already gone over, controlling your LEDs, various things like that, ARPing portal auth, captive portal cloner, and be able to distribute payloads with it. You can trap the cookies that are out there, and some other crazy cool things, Tor gateway, DNS changer, all kinds of things. Looks like there's actually a lot of updates I should go through for these, but yeah, there's a DNS spoof one, so let's go ahead and update that because we'll be using that in this demo here. So very easy to install stuff, very easy to update stuff. See, it was installed. Super, super easy. Don't think I need to, well, we'll go ahead and update some of these other ones while we're here. I mean, you can see how easy and how little knowledge you actually have to get started here. So very dangerous for a bunch of people to be able to have these abilities out there. Well, I think EtherCap is going crazy on its install update version. So we may have to restart it here. When you don't take your time, things go wrong. So we are going to restart, which I think is under configuration, advanced. Yep, reboot Pineapple. Gosh, almost like I'm giving a Michael demo here. Alright, so while we wait on that, we'll talk about the Lan Turtle. It's going to be a second to reboot here. The Lan Turtle is basically a man-in-the-middle Ethernet adapter. So I'll stop showing my screen here again so you can see what we got. So the Lan Turtle is this. And it's got like your generic USB Ethernet adapter. One side is a Ethernet port, one side is a USB port. So it just looks like a regular Ethernet to USB adapter. No one thinks anything weird about that. So plug that into a computer, plug up a Ethernet cable to the network, and you have a man in the middle here. So this guy can do quite a few things. We'll show off here because I got one hooked up already. And we'll show off some of the modules and things that can do while we wait on our Pineapple to do its thing here. Loop. All right, so I'm currently connected to the Lan Turtle. It's connected into one of my Raspberry Pis. And this is the nice shell that you get here. You can change the password to get to the shell, change the MAC address, change the WAN IP address, which is what it's pulling from the Ethernet adapter, check for updates. All again, very easy. And then you have what's called modules. So you can set up a auto SSH, which would maintain a persistent secure shell to somewhere. If you go in and select it, you can configure it and set it up how you want it to automatically connect there. So then you can start it and it maintains trying to connect SSH to that place from wherever it's plugged in at right now. So I could do a dynamic DNS there and it would always connect to that dynamic DNS, set up the ports, and I'd have a remote shell access to that local network from anywhere. I can set it to enable, so if it loses power, it will always do that. You can clone the MAC address from the client's MAC address, so it looks like it's the client machine's internet connection. You can schedule tasks to run. You can update a dynamic domain name service, so you can set it so that it automatically updates wherever you have it plugged in. You'll have a dynamic DNS that you can connect to. So if you plug it in somewhere that has a DHCP WAN port, you'll always have a domain name that you know you can connect back to it. Same thing for this auto SSH, being able to use that, I think. So lots of cool things there. You can DNS spoof while you're on there. You can check a log file and update and save it as it goes. You can manage your SSH keys. You can use the Metasploit meta interpreter to maintain Dang, talking so much my headphone battery died. Alright, so you can set up Metasploit to maintain a Metasploit, oh man, I forget what they call it, framework and be able to maintain shells to a remote computer and be able to initiate payloads. If you haven't heard of Metasploit, highly recommend you check into it. They got a show all about it called Metasploit Minute on the Hak.5 page that we posted a link for earlier, so definitely check into that. Lots and lots and lots of stuff you can do there. Basically, it's like a whole list of just 0-day stuff that you can just do. So tons and tons of stuff off that. If you have Kali Linux, I think it's loaded on there by default, so you can check it out from there. You can manage modules, so that's how you can download them and update them and delete them. See if there's any updates out there for them. So it says they were updated. So again, super easy configuration, super easy setup. Do netcat reverse shells, in-map scans of the network that it's connected to. Set up an open VPN client, so it's just like you're on their local network. Proxy over TCP over ping traffic, so it looks like any traffic that this does is just ping requests. Send stuff out with email and output to HTTP. You can mount remote file systems, so if you have your attack computer and basically it can share a file system over SSH. So anything like that log file thing, you can save it to this location and it will be able to basically SSH over to your attack system, which is like your primary system. Go through Tor, set up Tor hidden shells, so even further security. You can automatically forward ports using universal plug and play if the router it's connected to does it. See the uptime and sniff HTTP traffic. So all kinds of stuff you can do from there. Plus, it gives you a full shell, so you can do whatever you want from there. So all kinds of awesomeness with the Lan Turtle. Highly recommend you check it out. Like I said, I haven't even really played around with the Rubber Ducky or Lan Turtle or even the Wi-Fi Pineapple, and just know there's so much stuff I can do. I don't even have to actually do any of this stuff for anything actually, and it will just give me more than enough stuff to be able to research, learn more about, know more about, find out more about. So just all kinds of cool stuff. I'm so thankful for Hak5 because they gave me a whole new place to play around, check out, hang out, look into, find out more things about. Let's see if our Wi-Fi Pineapple's back up here. May have to connect to the wireless again here. Yep. Hang on, I'm connecting to the administrator wireless again. There we go. Now it should be internet. Yep. So we'll log on here again. Again, because we're connecting over wireless, it goes a little bit slow here. While we wait on that, I'll actually see if I can set up a different way to connect so that we can see these things a little bit faster and in real time. And you'll be able to see my face while I do it too. So. And I know it's still loading its PHP stuff here. Yeah, so we'll keep giving it a few minutes there. I'm going to see if I can set up a second route so that we can see things a little bit faster, because it does go a lot faster if you're connected with a wired connection. So as far as the administrative console. Otherwise, it does work. So like if you're connected to your phone, it works a little bit faster actually. So you can check these things out while you're connected to your phone. You can see that the WLAN 2 automatically reconnected since I programmed it to connect to this wireless. It saw it again, so it automatically connected. So the Pineapple does have internet again. We're going to check out these infusions. You can see that header cap kind of went crazy when it tried to update. Just going to try to clear these out here. We're going to try to do some more updates while I check and see if I can hook this up a different route here. Boop. Boop. Dang it, where's my mouse? Sorry for being so quiet. Alright, so we got another update here. We're going to go ahead and update these. And again, I'm being kind of quiet because I'm trying to hook this up a different route, so maybe it'll go a little bit faster and smoother. Had my mic muted because I coughed and y'all didn't hear any of that. So sorry for being extremely quiet this entire time. Not sure where we
just this once.
Where did I drop off, Tang?
That's a good question.
All right, well, we'll just go over some of the basic stuff again. So we got DNS.
I'm terrible on that.
That's all right. I don't even know, and I said it all. So we got DNS spoof going, and it's gonna spoof everything back to the Wi-Fi Pineapple. But then also you see everything has a wireless connection. If I only wanted certain pages to go to the Pineapple, I can set up that portal auth, or there's another one, Evil Portal, I think it's called. Yeah, Evil Portal. So I could basically set it up so that it looks like you have to sign in. So if you're expecting to have to sign in, you can be forced to sign in, and you'll go through that way. But the biggest thing is what we have set up here is the Pine AP. And what you have here is the Mk5 Karma. And what this is originally this project started off being called the Yesiger. And what the Yesiger means is a German word for yes man, and I think I mispronounced that. I think it's Yesiger or something to that effect. But however Germans say that kind of stuff. But basically that's what this thing is doing is anything that your computer or any wireless able device is out there right now, as soon as you turn it on, it's broadcasting all of your networks that you previously connected to and have saved in the list. It's out there saying, hey, are you there? Are you there? Are you there? Because it wants to automatically connect for you. So great. When you go to work, when you come home, your wireless network's there and it's broadcasting, hey, I'm out here. And your phone or device, whenever you connect to the wireless, is like, hey, are you there? Awesome, I'll automatically connect. So wonderful. That means you don't have to do anything. But there's some inherent trust there. And essentially, whenever your phone or computer has stored networks, it's always broadcasting all of those saying, hey, are you here? Can I automatically connect to you because I trust you? What the Karma does is it says, it listens for those packets that say, are you here? And then it says, why, yes, I am here. This is me. This is what you want to connect to. I am one of your trusted networks. So that essentially gives it a full resource to automatically connect your device to itself there. There we go. I'm trying to get myself connected here so that I can show my face and show off some of these things while we're doing this. But yeah, so it looks for any probes, it logs any associations. Pine AP daemon basically sends back responses and has a dogma and harvests the SSIDs. So all kinds of stuff out there. And actually I can just show you from right here. So right now we have the Pineapple AP going and it's doing its DNS spoof thing. And this is the wireless site survey that's out and about right here. I can tell you that almost none of these wireless exist. This one is mine. This one is not mine. This one is not mine. This one is not mine. This is mine. That's mine. Not mine, not mine, not mine, not mine, not mine, not mine. Neighbors, not mine, not mine. So all of these that are not mine, there's no Sonic near here. Why is there a Sonic drive-in broadcasting? That's because someone's device that's in range of this Wi-Fi Pineapple has previously connected to the Sonic Wi-Fi drive-in, and basically now the Pineapple is saying, hey, I'm here. I'm the Sonic drive-in Wi-Fi. Go ahead and automatically connect to me. And it does all of these as open networks because you can see none of them have, or they all have none for their security, except the ones that really do exist have security on them because all of the networks around here are secured. But since now we have these unencrypted networks, that means all of their stuff is being sent over clear text and their devices may have automatically connected to them. So it looks like it's not going to let me connect my other device here, so I'm not going to be able to do it the way I want to, I don't think. Wait, maybe I will. Maybe I will. Allow. I agree. Join. Mute. Won't need the camera on here. Hey, it did let me join. Let's see if it will let me connect and I can share my screen here. Hey, it did let me connect. Awesome. See if I'm able to share my screen here, and we'll have a much better way to present this. If I can type correctly. There we go. Can I share my screen? No, because I'm not really connected. Stupid Google. I swear, sometimes Google, you aggravate me. Do I have Firefox on here? No, of course not. I'm not going to use the Edge. Stupid Google. Well, at least you can see my face maybe from here. No, of course you can't. No, because Google is stupid. Chrome is a terrible piece of software. Just gonna throw that out there. All right, so we'll continue on like this. Sorry about all the technical difficulties and glitches here, but so you see all these Wi-Fi's out here broadcasting, someone saying I accept. And let's see if we can share my screen so you can actually see these on the phone here. So we'll stop. And let's look at my phone. There you go. You can see all of these wireless networks out here. So all of these are currently being broadcasted mostly by the Wi-Fi Pi, or Wi-Fi Pineapple. I just unplugged it there. I'm gonna refresh it here. Try one other thing while we wait on this. All right, so this is the list of wireless networks in the range of this area. So that's all that's out there right now. This is the actual true list. There's nothing else out here. Now, if we plug the Pineapple back in and wait for it to boot up here, I'll show you that other list again, and you can kind of see the difference right there on the screen. Oh yeah, Undertaker, you overlooked the fact that it had encryption none for all of those wireless connections. That is pretty awesome. And by the way, what it essentially does is if you don't have your trusted network in range, your phone or computer is automatically going to connect to one of those open wireless, because so say you are say you're at a park, there's no wireless there, right? If you're at a park, there's no wireless. I mean, if you're at a park that has wireless, that is an awesome park, but most of your parks, you're not going to have wireless. You're playing, your kids are out playing on the park or whatever, and you decide to pull out your cell phone and start browsing the internet. Someone with one of these Wi-Fi pineapples is in the parking lot or within wireless range of you, and you're not thinking about, am I connected to wireless or am I connected to mobile data? Because when you pull out your phone at the park, you automatically assume that you're connected to mobile data because you're not near your wireless. You're not near a wireless. You're not even going to check and see if there's a wireless in the area. But with the Wi-Fi Pineapple, since your phone is broadcasting, hey, are you here? Are you here? Are you here? And the Wi-Fi Pineapple is saying, yep, I'm here, right here, right here. Go ahead, connect. If I have it set up so that it has internet access, your phone automatically connects to one of those wireless points because it's already trusted it. So it thinks that that's a trusted network. So it goes ahead and connects. It's an unencrypted open network, so it doesn't need a password, so I don't have to emulate the password. The Pineapple doesn't have to emulate any passwords. All open networks, so your phone just sees the name, says, awesome, that's a network I trust, goes ahead, connects to it. Then at that point, if I have it set up for internet access, you go out to the internet. You just start doing anything you would do. More than likely, you wouldn't even think about the fact that you're on wireless, or you might just happen to glance up at your status bar and see, oh, I'm on wireless. Oh, that's cool. But you might just think that's weird. Most people wouldn't even check that or think twice about it. And if they're able to get on the internet, then wham, bam, wonderful. That's awesome for them. That's all they care about. So now your phone is connected to a wireless, connected to the internet, and it's starting to send all of its normal traffic. Your phone is probably set to automatically check for emails, updates. It sends out any of your programs or phone and home, various things like that. All kinds of information is just being shoveled out as soon as your phone gets internet access. So you don't even have to pull your phone out of your pocket. If you leave your wireless on and the Wi-Fi Pineapple's in range, your phone automatically connects to it, starts sending all of its normal data routines. You're none the wiser. You pull out your phone and start typing things in, that's where it starts to get really scary, because then you're sending cookies, then you're sending passwords, you're sending all kinds of information over an unencrypted wireless. The Wi-Fi Pineapple is sitting in the middle. You saw all those tools that it has to be able to use and take advantage of the connection. So extremely dangerous. Ways that you can protect yourself from it are automatically remove by habit, force of habit, automatically remove any wireless that you connect to. This means that every time you connect to a wireless, you will have to reconnect to it, re-enter the password. But saving that password in your phone means that it's automatically going to connect when it sees one of these Wi-Fi Pineapples. Otherwise, just turning your wireless off. If you're going outside of your house, turn your wireless off. Don't turn it back on until you get back to your business. Double check the wireless that you're connected to, even in those cases where you turn it on. And lastly, like I mentioned at the very beginning of the show, use a VPN. No matter where you are, even if you're at work or you're at home, use a VPN just in case something does happen where you get connected to a pineapple or there is a man in the middle attack. You at least have that encryption, so anything that man in the middle sees is encrypted. They can't see it, they can't get to it. I'm kind of upset with Google that I'm not able to share my screen with the other one and show you all this nifty stuff, but we'll go back to sharing the screen so you can see some more things. So right now it's set up for internet. If I turned off the DNS spoofing, you'd be able to get right out to the internet. Since I do have the DNS spoofing on, what's going to happen is if someone connects to one of these open wireless, it is going to actually random roll them. So this is the only thing I've used it for so far. This is definitely, it's not a bad thing. It's not technically illegal either. It's just kind of a, hey, check yourself before you wreck yourself kind of moment. And the only place that I've really played with this Wi-Fi Pineapple so far is we went to the Ohio Linux Festival, and I set it up to do just this. I didn't mine anybody's data. I didn't store any logs of anything other than the wireless access names that got pulled up, and the DNS spoofing stuff. So really nothing sensitive data-wise in those. But basically what I set it up for was these random rolls. And once the entropy bunny starts working here, let me double check that I'm still connected wirelessly. Of course not, because Windows 10 hates wireless cards, or at least hates my wireless card. I'm gonna see if I can reconnect here again. Oh, maybe I can do it this way. Yay, there we go. Now we don't have to rely on stupid wireless anymore. Let me turn this wireless stuff off here. Oh boy, I want to show you this. All right, so check this out. This is actually all the wireless names that the Wi-Fi Pineapple is currently broadcasting. That is pretty insane. I've actually seen this list several times longer. When I was at the Ohio Linux Festival, I mean, there is about 100 names or so on this wireless list. And you can see it just starts popping up new ones. Every single wireless thing out there. Look, now we're getting to it. So this is all of the wireless names that are being shown out there. That is insane. You do get some pretty funny wireless names. So let me find one of the funny ones here. You get a lot of your regular ones, your Charter Wi-Fis, Netgears, Nintendo Wi-Fis. Oh, there's one. Poophead. Someone's wireless network is Poophead. Pretty fly for a Wi-Fi. Where else we got in here? There's one really funny that I liked. Shenanigans. You can see all of these are unencrypted. Someone named their Wi-Fi "Stop Parking in My Spot." You got your surveillance fans. Too slow to steal. Your Verizons are out there. I can hear you guys having sex. We don't have Wi-Fi as somebody's Wi-Fi name. I like those kind of things. So yeah, just tons and tons of wireless networks out there. I think this is almost all of the ones that this Pineapple is ever connected to. You can see how tiny this little bar is. While we're in here too, I do want to again point out, since we're on this topic, if you have Windows 10, go into your Wi-Fi, go into advanced options. Go into manage Wi-Fi settings. Turn both of these settings off. Connect to suggested open hotspots. What that means is connect to any open hotspot. Ridiculous feature. That is a bug. That's not a feature. They put in a freaking switch for a bug. Because why would you want your computer to connect to any open hotspot? It doesn't have a managed list. It's just any of these, it's going to automatically connect to. If it doesn't see one of your trusted networks there, it's going to automatically connect to all of these. Just one at a time, you can go in, disconnect, connects to the next one, disconnect, connects to the next one. That is a ridiculous feature. I cannot believe they included it with Windows 10. Open networks are completely insecure. Everything you send over here is unencrypted. So apparently Microsoft says go ahead and connect to them. Ridiculous option. I can't believe they have that. But just wanted to show that off while we're in there. Let's see if we can get to this Pineapple and have a little bit more speed now that I have it actually connected with a wired connection. So what I did there was I took that USB Ethernet adapter and plugged it in using that USB connection or extendable Ethernet cord. So much faster here. Let's pull up this random Rickroll. We are going to select all of these random Rickrolls. And we're going to apply this random Rickrolls. So this is what I had it set up for at the Ohio Linux Fest. This is basically, there's nothing nefarious about this. All it does is, again, that check yourself before you wreck yourself, because if this catches you, you're not doing your internet correctly. You're not managing your wireless settings. You're not checking your wireless. You're going to places. And so what's happening here is, first, the Pine AP is doing its thing. It's saying, hey, yes, I'm here. So if your true wireless network isn't there, it's going to automatically connect to one of those many on that list that we saw. Then DNS spoof takes over, which we saw it's set so that any page you go to goes back to the Wi-Fi Pineapple. Then it's set so that the Wi-Fi Pineapple is actually one of these random Rickrolls. So you know some of them: Trollo, Blue Screen Death, Nylon Cat, Rickroll itself. And I am going to, let's go ahead and refresh this thing, see if it picks up all those wireless networks while we try to connect my phone to it. So I am just going to connect my phone to one of these open wireless. Good point here is, because I am connected already to my home network, I'm not just going to automatically connect to one of these open wireless. There is a de-authentication attack you can do, which basically sends out those packets and says, hey, you're not connected anymore. And the wireless is like, what? All right, I'll reconnect. So if I started this up using the WLAN 1 as the attack device, basically any device that's connected and within range is going to be like, oh, I'm not connected anymore, I should reconnect again. So it reconnects again, and 9 times out of 10, it's going to reconnect to your Wi-Fi Pineapple. When you set up to the Wi-Fi Pineapple, I'll show you what happens here. This is fun stuff. All right, so we are just going to go to Google. So I'll stop sharing my screen here and show off my phone. I know, sorry, this is going to be a little bit no fun. All right, so right now I'm connected to this wireless network here. I know you can't really see it because of the screen glare and stuff. I am trying to go to google.com. We'll press enter there. What's this? I get a blue screen of death on my phone. Tells me to press any key to continue. I'm going to try to go to google.com again. Let's see if we can. All right. See if we can just hit that again. Oh, google.com has really changed. Very, very crazy. So if you go to any page, it's going to give you a random Rickroll. You can't even see that one, but yeah, that's that guy dancing, moving. Let's try to go to /dot. So we try to go to /.org. Oh, that one actually cached. So /dot actually pulled up, even though I'm connected to the Wi-Fi Pineapple and the DNS spoofing is on. I actually did go to the /dot page. The reason this happens is because your phone caches some of the pages that you go to. So if you've already been to that page before, your phone already has the IP address of that server. So whenever it tries to go back there, instead of checking the DNS on the internet, it takes the saved DNS it has and goes straight to that server. Otherwise, if it was out of date or it hadn't been to that page in a while, it's going to check the Wi-Fi Pineapple first, which the Wi-Fi Pineapple is not going to tell you to go here. It's going to tell you to go right to it, and then you get that page from the Wi-Fi Pineapple. So that's how DNS spoofing works. You can't get everything with DNS spoofing because if there's cached on the device, it's going to use the device one first because that's the fastest. If the device one didn't work, then it would go to the internet, which would be the Wi-Fi Pineapple. So yeah, that is the best thing about it. And basically you kind of have a straight in your face, hey, check your settings. Someone gets a page like that that they were expecting to get Google, they're probably going to start investigating some things. Then they look and see that, hey, I'm connected to Wi-Fi in the park. Even weirder, I'm connected to my home Wi-Fi that's 10 miles away in the park. What's going on here? Yeah, good point, Undertaker, is turning off that Windows 10 crap bugs feature that they call connecting to open wireless hotspots. Somebody had said that that was in Windows 8. I don't think I remember seeing that in Windows 8, but it's possible it could be in there too. It's something I've already brought up to Nick as having something on D7X as one of those tweak options, is being able to turn off stuff like that really quickly and automatically. So we do have points of having that in our software and tech tools like D7X. So that it can automatically be scripted to do it that way. But yeah, that is a huge security feature, and this Wi-Fi Pineapple basically just shows you exactly why. Because if you start up a Windows 10 laptop in the range of a Wi-Fi Pineapple and not in range of one of your trusted networks, or even if you are in range of your trusted network and the Pineapple is there and has a better signal strength, your device is going to connect to the stronger signal strength name. So it's automatically going to connect to the Wi-Fi Pineapple. Again, the bad things that this can be used for are like setting up a portal. I could clone an entire portal and have people entering in their username and passwords and then giving them internet access. They don't think any the wiser because they have to sign into that portal regularly when they do that stuff. So they just connect and keep going on with their day, but they've just given over their password. Not good. Splitting SSL or the the SSL remover strip. Basically, you try to go to HTTPS and you are actually going to HTTP. HTTP means anything you send back and forth to that server, that man in the middle can now read. You purchase Amazon stuff, or you type in credit card numbers, or you sign into your bank, all of that goes straight to the man in the middle. Lots and lots of dangerous stuff there. Again, you've seen how easy it is to be portable and mobile with it. So many tools are out there that can already be used on it. They're always improving on it. Basically just tons and tons of stuff out there. And Undertaker, I kind of like live tiles. I wouldn't turn them off for everything. Most of the tiles that are live that I don't like, I remove from the start menu anyway. So, but yeah, that's kind of more of a personal thing. The live tiles, not that bad. The wireless connection to any open network, where I know in Windows 7 it says, hey, this is open network, you might not want to connect to this. They've now just totally flip-flopped because they want internet. They want you to connect to the internet as much as possible. So the best way to do that is to have you connect to any available wireless network, trusted or untrusted, secure or not secure. Give them internet. Windows 10 wants internet to do internet things. Ridiculous philosophy. Absolutely ridiculous. I cannot believe Microsoft took that completely insecure route just so that they can get internet and data and tracking, and that kind of aggravates me. But I digress. Nothing I can do but tell people to turn off that setting and manage wireless, manage Wi-Fi settings, Windows 10 settings, Wi-Fi network and whatever, Wi-Fi, manage Wi-Fi settings. So yeah, that's the Wi-Fi Pineapple. Again, it is a truly awesome device. Lots and lots of stuff that you can research, learn about, find out about. Wonderful, wonderful device. Great hardware. Makes it so easy to do stuff. Plus, you can do so much more the more you learn about it. Just great, incredible device. Same with the Lan Turtle. It's essentially the same thing, but an Ethernet connection and basically undetectable by your average user. They're not going to unplug a USB Ethernet adapter, especially if someone comes in and says, hey, your Ethernet port's broken. We're just going to slap in this USB Ethernet adapter. Wham, bam, they got internet again. They're happy. That person now has man-in-the-middle attack. So lots of social engineering can make all this stuff much easier to implement, put in place. Some other cool thing about the Lan Turtle is you don't even have to have it hooked up to a computer. You basically just have to hook it up to a USB power source and then the Ethernet connection. That means that I could use that battery, and I think that battery will power that Lan Turtle for a couple days. So that's a couple days before I have to come back and switch out batteries or remove it. There's a lot that you can do in a couple days worth of having internet access like that. So crazy, 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 crazy awesome tool. Rubber Ducky, again, another great awesome tool. Gives you a 1,000 word per minute keyboard. So many awesome things you can do with that, besides all of the stuff that you can program to do badly. So there's good sides and bad sides. I think it's worth talking about for both sides because people need to know what the bad sides can be and be aware of it so that they can stay away from it. The good sides obviously have good purposes. You can use it for a lot of good things. So Undertaker mentioned he had seen an Arduino with twin LAN used as a man-in-the-middle device, and actually the Raspberry Pi, there's something called Fruity Wi-Fi, and I don't think it's actually limited to Raspberry Pi. It might be, it might not be. But Fruity Wi-Fi gives you a lot of the same tools. It's not as nice an interface. You don't have the custom hardware, so you have to go out and find that hardware, the USB adapters that do monitoring and injection and things like that. But with Fruity Wi-Fi, you can make any device a man-in-the-middle device. You can make any device a Wi-Fi Pineapple almost. Wi-Fi Pineapple is way more awesome. Highly recommend you purchase one when they come back in stock. Support the Hak.5 people so that they can keep coming up with even more awesome stuff. I even got a set of their stickers just so I can support them. I'm not going to do anything with all these stickers. I don't have this many laptops to put these stickers on. I don't have this many places to put the stickers, but I got them just to support them. So I really like those guys. They're actually really cool. They talk about a lot of cool stuff. And yeah, lots of cool stuff you can do with it. Since they are sold out of Wi-Fi Pineapples, I can say, hey, go ahead and check out Fruity Wi-Fi. You can at least get started playing around with it, see some of the stuff you can do, start some of the penetration testing stuff. So doesn't have all the options, definitely doesn't look as pretty, definitely doesn't have the hardware behind it, but you can get the hardware, still won't get the prettiness and all the options. So all right, well, we are at over 2 hours now. I am going to mention one more thing here and show off this one more thing, and then we are going to probably be done for the night. Let me put some of this stuff away because I'm OCD about this field kit and having things where they should go. All right, so the one last thing I want to show off is the port pilot. This thing is what this thing did not do. So what this port pilot is a voltage and current thing, and I'm going to show you here with this one, since we have a battery pack and a USB device. So I am going to plug this into the 1 amp adapter first. I don't know if we'll be able to read that. Looks like probably not. Yeah, no, that's way too bright. So basically, when you plug this in, right now it's saying Android and 5.25 volts, okay. And data mode block, but we'll get into that in a little bit here. If I plug this Wi-Fi Pineapple's USB into it, to the other point, Wi-Fi Pineapple is now getting power, and I'm able to see that it's pulling 236 milliamps from this port. And it's actually 28% of the 1 amp that this port's capable of supplying. You can unplug it there, plug it into the 2 amp one. It detects the port rating, and then Wi-Fi Pineapple is again now getting power. It's pulling about the same power, 235, 260 milliamps, and it's pulling 28% again, even though it's in the 2 amp port. It's only seeing 1 amp, but hey, whatever. So you can kind of check your devices, see how much amperage they're pulling, and also at the same time, the nicest feature about this one, which makes it almost completely worth it in itself, is it has this little button here. And what this button does is it turns off and on data. As soon as you plug in, say, your phone to a USB port, it is able to transmit back and forth data. It's able to have whatever device is connected to it talk back to it. Not that big of an issue when you're plugged into a battery pack, a wall outlet, charger, something like that. Doesn't matter if data is flowing back and forth, it can talk to it. issue when you're plugged into a computer that you're not completely sure of. If you're just plugged into a computer to grab some power, you're not completely sure of it, that computer could be mining all of the data off your phone. That's not as likely a scenario or case. What is a likely scenario or case is charging stations. You may have seen them before, basically public charging stations. They have a bunch of adapters out there. Mainly you'll have your Apple and your Android style charging adapters sitting there waiting for anyone to come up and recharge their phone for free. Yay, free power. That's awesome. I love that idea. But the shitty thing about it is you don't know what the other end of that adapter is plugged into. Could just be plugged into a power strip, just giving you power. Could have a man-in-the-middle device in the middle there. What that means is you go to a free charging port, you plug up your phone, your entire phone contents can be downloaded and saved and recorded. So now everything you have on your phone has just been saved and recorded by some unknown third party. What this device and this little button does is you can turn on data, so you can freely send back and forth data if you want to. So there are times where you want to use this to monitor the power consumption and transfer data back and forth. Maybe you want to see how much power it's taken while it's transferring data back and forth. Fine, reasonable. Can turn data off. So when you do plug into one of those free charging stations, you can be assured that your phone data is not going through this to whatever's on the other end. All you're pulling from there is just power. That actually should be built into phones. Google, if you're out there listening, which I know you are because we're on Hangouts, so Google, take note. I honestly believe that's how voice commands are probably really working, is if just someone says, Google, take a note. Now pay attention to this bug/feature. Obviously, you're not going to put it in Android M unless you put it in a revision of Android M, but Android should be the one stopping data from charging. You should have a little switch or a fucking button or whatever that you can say, I just want to charge. I don't want to transmit. Android, you should have that. Google, get the heck on it. Otherwise, I have a device that'll do it for me. So I don't care if you do it anymore or not, but it would be a nice feature for the rest of the entire world. So yeah, that is that. I am not going to spend any more time on this. We've spent way too much time here. Tank probably is ready to go to bed. He said 8 o'clock is his bedtime. So last couple things I want to say is definitely go back, check out Hak5, watch some of their shows. They go over a lot of interesting stuff. They talk about a lot of better ways of how to use this and different ways you can use these tools, and they explain them a lot better than I do. Like I said, I am not a professional on any of them. I've just played around, and this is what I've learned so far about them, which is more than enough to scare people, I think. So definitely a lot of power out there, definitely a lot of awesome stuff, definitely a lot you can learn from them. Check them out, watch their videos, get their stuff, support them. And last thing I want to mention is Bluetooth just as insecure. Turn off your Bluetooth if you don't need it. This thing, super, super insecure. It has Wi-Fi on it. It's trying to connect to. Super, super insecure. Having Bluetooth on all the time, super, super insecure. They have a device on the Hak Shop called Ubertooth 1. Can pretty much do everything we just did with the Pineapple, plus a little more, I think, using Bluetooth protocol. So be wary, be aware. If you don't need Bluetooth or Wi-Fi on, turn it off. Plus side for you, you get extended battery life on your phone. If you don't have Wi-Fi on, you don't have Bluetooth on, heck, go ahead and even turn off GPS. Because you know what? You don't need people tracking you either, because they do that. All right. So that is our show for tonight. Undertaker, thanks for throwing in all those awesome comments. If you have any other ones, let me know. Tank, you got any questions or comments you want to throw out there?
No, I sure don't.
All right. Well, I think we're going to wrap this show up. We'll be back on...
Dang, you're still live?
Yeah. Tank, you're not muted.
I know.
All right. I was just making sure you know. Sounds like you have someone else.
Yeah, I got some company just showed up.
We can barely hear you, too, so if your mic's above your head.
That's because my mic was above my head.
There we go. That's why I thought.
I thought about the mute thing. I didn't think about the mic thing. That's probably why it sounded like I didn't know I was unmuted.
Yeah, that's exactly why. So, yeah, Johnny, we're just wrapping up now. Lots and lots of content to go over. Lots and lots to scare people. Undertaker, you have a good weekend too. Everyone else will be back on Monday at 8 a.m. And yeah, so thanks.
I probably will not be here.
Yeah, you may be, or you may not be. Who knows?
Have to wait and see. Tune in and find out.
Yeah, find out Monday.
Sister's
live.
having a baby.
Same foolish time. Different foolish time. Same foolish channel.
And day. Wait, different. No, all day. Same foolish schedule. That's how we say it.
The Monday, whenever we're on.
Yeah.
At some point.
Monday, 8 a.m. I'll have this show posted on the InnerTube YouTubes after we hang up here and it processes. So if you didn't get a chance to watch
and you take out our address.
Yeah, and I take out our address. If you didn't get a chance to watch it, you can watch it on YouTube's, or if you're watching it again on YouTube's, thanks for watching. And we're out, I think. So
awesome.
Goodbye, Internet. See you Monday.
Monday.
Woo.